This is Nick Stango with OutsidePerspective.media, and I just wanted to do a quick video on some thoughts I've had about or regarding Hurricane Irma, which is expected to hit Florida within the next couple of days. You would think probably between September 7th and the 9th, looking at the forecasts. But there's all kinds of videos about how that are highlighting and proving that there's some kind of frequency influence in the creation of this hurricane, as well as Hurricane Harvey, which just hit or devastated Texas. And there's all kinds of good videos that are showing the pressure systems and the vibrations basically emanating from some kind of HARP type facility in accordance with their geoengineering cloud seeding technology. And it's thought that this frequency may be emanating from a HARP type facility in Japan, I've heard. But anyway, I'll put some links to those videos both up on the screen right now, as well as in the link below in the description box. So I think everybody should check all those out. But I just wanted to bring something to everybody's attention that maybe not many people are aware of, but I think more people are starting to become aware of, and that would be that there seems to be events that happen, whether it be mainstream media narratives that provoke fear in the masses, or actual catastrophic events or devastating events that take place around the time period of or between September 7th and September 22nd. So, the autumn equinox, which is usually between the 22nd and 24th, I believe. And what these are is September 7th is the marriage to the beast, a dark occult sacrifice ritual that our great rulers across the world love to partake in by sacrificing children and animals and adults, whoever they really can. And they like to harness that negative energy that's being produced by their victims in a meditative, sickening kind of a ritual. And this pertains to the autumn equinox as well. So if you look throughout history, there's all kinds of significant events that take place around these occult ritual holidays that correlate to planetary alignments and in constellations within our solar system. And what that basically does is amplifies the energy within our solar system, which is then resonated by our planet. And it's able to be more easily harnessed by us beings on Earth. So another way to explain it is what that means is it helps us achieve higher states or access higher states of consciousness easier because we're more in tune with that cosmic vibrational field of creation. And that's whether we're even conscious of it or not. And what that means is we're all in tune with that collective consciousness, even more so than usual. As they say, the veil is thinning during those time periods. So when we're all hurting, or many of us are hurting, and this strong negative energy is being broadcasted, and it's being amplified more significantly than your usual time period, they're harnessing that because they have that esoteric knowledge that that's happening. This is ancient rituals that have been going on. As I said, they're harnessing that, resonating with it, and what they're doing is harnessing that to empower themselves spiritually and mentally. So what they're able to do is manifest things into reality that they want to accomplish, whether that's on a small scale or on a grander scale, such as working towards, that international global government of technocratic communism, basically. And what they like to do essentially is hijack or basically cause events which propagate fear in the masses, which then they can harness for themselves and essentially amplify into the energetic matrix, empowering themselves spiritually and mentally, while we basically, it's basically like they're feeding off of us like cosmic parasites. So just think about what has been some of the major talking points within the last week. It's been Hurricane Irma, which they're saying might be the first Category 6 hurricane. Right now, they're calling it Category 5. And it's been Hurricane Harvey. Things that provoke utter devastation. It's been North Korea getting a hydrogen bomb, supposedly perfecting their hydrogen bomb, which then means the possibility of war with Russia and the war with China, which would be more devastation. It's all negativity. It's all inducing fear. It's all creating what they need to feed off of. And like I said, with what's going on in the solar system, it's going to amplify it so they can then harness that much stronger than they'd usually be able to. And I remember watching a video a few months back that Truth Stream Media did that showed how if you go into Google Trends and if you search 9/11 or the Cold War, the amount of searches that those trends were getting during those precise time periods was perfectly symmetrical, and I'll put it up on the screen for you right now so you can see what I'm talking about. It's really just another example of how easily they can control thought through the mainstream media and how much they can control public perception and the consciousness, or the collective consciousness, of all of us. It's almost like an equation where the graph was literally perfect, and it correlated to those ritual dates. So I'm not saying that we're definitely not going to go to war with North Korea or Russia or China. And I'm not saying that Hurricane Irma won't be devastating, because it's obviously going to be. But what I'm saying is, at times they like to manipulate narratives or utilize certain narratives like war just to induce fear and just to feed off of that. And it's a lot of things that are that's kind of something taboo to say for a lot of people, but that is what they believe in. And if you look at the Podesta leaks from last year, it showed, or it was just another piece of evidence apart from the other previous pedophile busts within government, that the elites are still partaking in these rituals that have been going on since ancient Mesopotamia. I don't see it as a coincidence that these people can control the weather through frequency manipulation technologies and cloud seeding, and we constantly have devastating hurricanes, or the fear of devastating hurricanes, every year during the month of September. I'm sure some of that might be a little natural, but they've had these technologies for half a century, roughly, maybe a little longer. And was there always, I don't really know, I haven't really done the research, but has there always been devastating hurricanes in the month of September? As I was saying, when you look at those Google Trend charts, the graphs, and you see that around this, as I said, around certain dates that correlate with dark occult ritual holidays. Or I shouldn't really say they're dark, because at these times, basically why I'm making this video is to say that not to feed the fear, not to feed that parasitic force with fear, because it's really just a manipulation. I mean, of course you're going to be a little afraid. Of course you're going to be afraid if you're in Florida and you're about to get with a hurricane, but things that you can't really control too well, like the threat of nuclear war. We've been constantly living with that threat and constantly been hearing about that in the media for decades and decades and decades, and it hasn't happened. And honestly, being that they do just like to feed off of negative energy, it's a lot easier for them to keep talking about it than to actually let it happen. I know they do want to depopulate the planet, but do they really want to totally destroy the planet? I mean, there's evidence that that is their aim. But I mean, they could do that really easily at any point if they really wanted to. So what is the game that they're playing here? I believe that their aim is to just consistently feed off of that negative energy and slowly drain humanity through self-kill, more so than a fast nuclear fallout. So just keep in mind that during this time period, you can have immense positivity in what they've turned into a very negative ritual for themselves, but it's really just, it's not dark nor light. Or what I should say is, it's not an inherently negative time. It's actually an extremely beneficial time for our planet, for consciousness, and thus for humanity during times of such heightened cosmic energy. And we can utilize that for immense positivity. So don't be so easily engineered by the negative stimuli put out there into the international elites, the international corporate and banking elites, mainstream media. So just some thoughts I wanted to share with all of you. Please subscribe and like the video. Share it if you'd like, if it resonates with you. This is Nick staying with Outside Perspective Media signing out.